Jai Shri Ram.
Nothing in this universe is not a part of Sanatana Dharma.
In this channel, we'll be discussing about the various topics that relate both science and Sanatana Dharma. But not only that, also the things that are going to be discovered in the future.
According to us, in science, there is truly no inventions but only discoveries. Since today's topic is based on tissue culture, let's just have a quick look on what is tissue culture. Tissue culture is a scientific technique where small pieces of living tissue, usually from plants or animals, are grown in a controlled sterile environment outside their original body. These tissues are placed in a nutrient-rich medium where they can multiply and grow. The concept of tissue culture began in 1902. A German scientist proposed the idea of growing plant cells outside the plant body. However, it wasn't until the 1930s and 1940s that real success came. Later, in 1955, animal tissue culture was successfully developed and became a key part of modern biology. Today, tissue culture is widely used to grow thousands of identical plants from just a tiny tissue sample.
Today's story is about a controversial king, King Vena, and a miraculous rebirth that closely resembles the modern scientific method of tissue culture. King Vena was born into a royal lineage but became known for his arrogance. He abolished religious rituals, disrespected sages, and ruled with a heavy hand. Society crumbled under his rule. The rishis and sages, guardians of Dharma, realized that Vena was beyond reform. Through their spiritual powers, they performed a unique procedure that ended his life, not out of hate but out of necessity to store cosmic order. But now the land was kingless, chaos spread, agriculture failed, and people suffered. A righteous king was needed, but where would one come from? Then the sages performed an act that sounds strange like bioengineering. They churned the body of Vena. From one part, they removed the negative essence symbolized by a dark dwarf-like being. Then, from the purified part of his body, they extracted a divine figure, King Prithu. Prithu was not born of a mother, but grown, nurtured from the purified tissue of a corrupt ancestor, shaped and empowered by a spiritual energy. They didn't wait for a royal heir to be born. Instead, they regenerated life not through womb or lineage, but by using cellular potential, guided by intelligence and spiritual technologies. Now, let's compare it with modern tissue culture. As mentioned before, in laboratories today, scientists take a tiny piece of tissue, even a single cell from a plant or sometimes an animal, and regenerate an entire organism. The original donor may be flawed or damaged, but scientists remove the bad parts, sterilize the tissue, and supply the right hormones and conditions, allowing a new healthy being to grow. Isn't that exactly what the sages did?
This story is mentioned in Bhagavata Purana.
The next story is from Mahabharata.
Gandhari, a great queen of Bharat, was about to give birth. But instead of a normal baby, she gave birth to something utterly strange, a lifeless lump of flesh. The entire kingdom was shocked and puzzled. What was this? Was this the end of the line for her hopes of motherhood? Just when all seemed lost, the great and powerful sage Vyasa appeared. With his deep knowledge and divine power, Vyasa took that mysterious lump and carefully divided into 101 pieces. But the magic didn't stop there. He placed each piece into sacred jars filled with the special herbs and holy water, creating a nurturing environment for life to grow under controlled conditions. And what happened next? Miraculously, those pieces transformed into 101 strong and mighty sons and daughters. They were the legendary Kauravas and Dushala. Now, here is where ancient wisdom meets modern science. This story is an incredible early example of something called tissue culture, a method where small bits of tissues or cells grow outside the body in controlled conditions. Today, scientists use tissue culture to multiply plants quickly and efficiently, creating thousands of plants from just tiny tissue pieces. In humans, researchers can grow certain cells like brain cells, skin cells, and cartilage in labs to help with medical treatments. Scientists have even cloned animals from cells. But here is the real adventure. Creating a full human being from a lump of cells, like in Gandhari's story, is still beyond what modern science can do. No scientist has yet grown a complete human this way, though future breakthroughs may make this possible. Tissue culture proves that under the right conditions, life can grow even outside the body. In both cases, ancient and modern, the potential of life lies within, waiting to be unlocked with the right knowledge, tools, and intention.
So, the video comes to an end. Thank you for watching. Like, share and subscribe our channel. Arushi and Pragadish signing off. Jai Shri Ram.